Usually when you go to a chiropractor, they just work on your back, and she works on everything. She puts your organs back where they should be.
And she likes organs, too.
She thinks they're beautiful.
She does.
So I'm real happy to have her be part of our family and to call her friend.
I'm happy to know her, too.
She's very good.
Yeah.
For more than that, she's a really good person, too.
So what made you do W4 Divas, the Women's Network?
Well, after I wrote my book, I really wanted to do a lot of speaking engagements and coaching, but this part of the country does not lend itself well to either one. It's really hard to get people to even come to book signings. It's like that's not that important. But there are people at home that need coaching.
Where's home?
In their own homes.
Oh,
There's people that are raising children that can't get out, that maybe aren't working, or people that have acrophobia and need help, that need to hear an encouraging word, or can't get to a $100 a plate dinner where somebody's going to speak. And there's so many people that have a lot to say and that we can learn from. And that's why I started W4 Divas.
But you are uplifting.
Uplifting.
That does create very good for people who are depressed.
Right. And you feel isolated. Even if you have a husband and friends and children, many times you will feel isolated. And there's no reason for you to feel like that. And that's W4 Divas is always there. It's always there. And you can binge listen, or you can listen to what's playing live, or, whatever you want to do, and know that you're not alone, that you're not the only person going through what you're going through. And just have a friend. It's a friend.
That definitely helps.
And there's all different kinds of shows, like the DIVALUTION show is one of the more lighthearted ones. We drink wine. It's more entertaining. And yet there's many times when we've cried on this show. And
there's lessons to be learned during your shows, too, because I've learned a lot.
Right.
It seems like every show that I'm here for, I'm supposed
you learn
to
something.
be here.
See, and thank
Shame
you for saying
you
that, because that's the purpose. And, so I try to get really good people on the DIVALUTION show, and I think I've succeeded at that. And I've been very fortunate, very blessed. But then there's also Adrienne Barker with Adrienne's P's and Q's, and it's all about manners and protocol. Mm-hmm. And she's a hoot, and she has really good shows. I love listening to her shows. And if you don't laugh and learn during that show, then you're not paying attention.
She's just a nice, funny person.
She really is. And then look at Jeanette Dinan with her essential oils. It's called About Those Oils. And that class, she has recipes for essential oils. Like today she did her fall one, and she gave us blends that smell good, smell like fall, to use in your diffuser.
Well, that's why I'm so focused right now and happy.
Right, because we made Focused and Happy in our last oils class.
Can you tell how happy I am, Juliana?
I can tell.
Yeah.
And that's why we are having more events here too, because I'm meeting more and more people that have something to teach and share and enlighten us. It's enlighten, empower, and entertain divas and those that love us. And that's what it's all about. You can learn and have fun.
Yes.
And
we do it every week.
Right.
It's
and
the best
Dr.
way to
Julia,
do it.
it is. And Dr. Julia's show, The Passionate Pundits, that's a wonderful show. And she shares a lot. Did you know that it was bad for your spleen to drink cold water?
I know you've told me about cold water before, but I can't drink warm water.
You don't, just not ice cold.
Yeah, it's got to
like
be ice cold.
I see, and I've always drank room temperature. Isn't that funny? I've never liked real cold. It's weird.
I think because my throat is dry.
Oh, maybe.
And itchy a lot, so that might be why it's got to be cold. And I don't like the taste of water.
It doesn't taste.
But that's the only thing I drink is water.
She's a little strange.
I'm
but
very
she
strict.
goes with everything that we do.
That's right.
Okay, quit whispering. because I can't.
Oh,
really
she's
hear
sitting
you.
right there.
Yeah, I'm right here. You know.
A good thing she didn't have her headphones on.
Yeah.
So now they're still whispering. Jeez, what am I going to do with you guys? You know, that brings us into the Devolution Project. Want to tell us about that, Deb?
I would love to. That's the part of the devolution that I want to take to nonprofit and spread it globally. Spread.
Yeah, split it. That's another word. Write it down.
SPLEAD. Spread. It's quarterly. I would like it to be monthly, but it was too much.
It was.
Because women have a lot on their plates. Quarterly, we do something good for our community and something good for ourselves. And although we do something good, something good for ourselves every month because we have a meeting once a month. And it's a group of women that are dear to my heart, and we welcome newcomers.
Newcomer?
Give me some of that wine. We welcome newcomers, and we do things that are meaningful, and we try to do something different. You know, like last year we did the Fundapalooza, and this year we didn't do it because other people are doing things like it.
Right.
And I couldn't think of anything else in time. We didn't.
What did you do at Easter?
At Easter, we'll continue to do this.
That's an annual.
Right. We raise food donations, and it's a specific menu that the shelter asks for, the homeless shelter. And then on Easter Sunday, we actually go and help prepare it and serve it and then clean up afterwards. And that's Easter now. That's Easter for me.
Everybody does Christmas, Thanksgiving, but really, who does Easter?
The Divas.
The Devolution Project does.
It's good that we
And
do
it's
it.
and you never know who's going to be there. We can only have so many people in that kitchen. They only allow us to bring in, and it's different every year, isn't it, Julia?
Yeah, we've had
Juliana.
some very interesting people there.
This year we had a whole family volunteer,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
ate
yeah.
up a lot of our volunteer spots, but
Yeah.
they loved it.
2 young kids.
They need that experience too.
It was 3 girls, but one girl was sick and had to go home. Her grandpa picked her up, and a teenage boy and the mom and dad. And it was really fun. They had a good time, and we laughed. And Deb Z, the other half of the Dingy Zivas,
dingy? Now
the
we're
Zingy
dingy?
Divas, always comes with her husband Pete. And
It's the only time of year I get to see him.
yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah.
And Sandy, you always put the boxes out for us. That's a very fun thing to do.
We put the boxes out, the donation boxes out, and
We've had more than enough food every
1 year. The Catholic Federal Credit Union drew on it. It was really pretty. So
They drew all the things that we needed on there. Yeah,
they did. Yeah, it was really fun. So it was fun for them too. So tell us when the Devolution meet.
The Devolution Project meets on the first Wednesday of every month at Vino, and that's 2 good things about that. We have our meeting, but it's also half off wine, and most of the menu items are discounted that night too. So we have a meeting and talk and pass our collection thing around.
And why do we do the collection?
We're saving it for I don't know if we're going to use it for Christmas, or we're saving it for when something comes up.
I thought
that
we were
we
going
can
to do
use
a
that
family
money.
at Christmas.
Oh, we can, yeah.
I think that's what we were thinking, because instead of, Christmas time, everybody's spending money. So what we did is just throw your change in there each week and let it build, and then we'll take a family and do their Christmas for them.
Okay, good. And this month when we meet, I have 2 new things to talk about that really need our help.
Oh, good.
Yes. So it'll be good.
And everyone's welcome to come to that. It's very enlightening. It's
fun. It's fun.
It's fun because, you sit back and you can talk about whatever you want, and it's just a happy gathering. I look forward to it every month.
Me too.
Month. And when I can't go, which is very few times,
once
I feel bad.
think you weren't there.
I think I've only missed
yes.
one. I just feel bad when I have to miss it.
Right.
Because it's so enlightening and,
And we have some really good conversations.
We do. We do.
we help each other. It's, and that's what the devolution is all about. If something's bothering somebody, then, let us help. And it's not so much that we tell you how to solve it. We listen.
We listen. And actually, a part of the group is empower ourselves and other women, too.
Right.
So it's part of that. And you don't feel ashamed or embarrassed to bring up a topic.
Right.
Because
it's judgment-free.
Yeah,
right.
Somebody's already gone through it or did it or whatever. And like you said, it's judgment-free. Yep,
that's a good group.
So tell us a little more about your book, Deb.
Okay. I once in a while I'll pick it up and read something, but I don't very often. But I met a woman recently that saw the sign and already had read the book and didn't know that I was here.
Oh.
So that was very interesting. And she asked me a lot of questions about the book.
What did she ask you?
She asked, you've read it.
Yeah.
And you've read it. When you're reading a book, there are several things I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to write it for anybody to read, and I didn't want you to not be able to put it down when you had to go do something. So it has a lot of little chapters. None of the chapters are really related. They're each a story in themselves. So that at the end of that, you can stop and go to sleep and not wonder, I can't. I hate that when I'm reading a book
like
that I can't put down, that I have to stay up.
I couldn't put that book down.
See, I didn't read it. But
I did.
and then another
interesting.
thing about books, I like writing in them. And like when something strikes me that I want to remember, I will underline it or highlight it, and then I write in the margins. If you see the books that I've read, there's things that I write, I have to remember this, or need to implement this, or whatever, or tell so-and-so this, or use this in coaching. And I ask questions to make you think, because I think that's one of the things that women consider to be selfish, is we don't think about what really means stuff to us. We don't look at our own lives and evaluate them enough to see if we're really happy, or if we could be doing something differently, or something more, or what you believe in, what you're good at, where your strengths are. So I actually left blank pages in there and wrote your thoughts. Another thing we don't do, and it's because we get so caught up in our own lives and everybody else's lives and supporting everybody else, we don't make goals for us. I don't mean like lose 10 pounds by December. I mean like deep things, like what would make me feel really good about myself. Mm-hmm. Those kind of things.
I know what makes you feel really good about yourself.
What?
You have a new granddaughter.
Yes, that does make me feel really good. She's and to see my son with her, that does make me feel good about myself, because I did a good job.
So a whole new feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. And seeing my boys together and hearing them laughing, and that did make me feel good about myself. So I'm not so bad.
Yeah, you're not so bad.
No,
Deb, see?
I don't care what everybody says.
So your speaking engagements, I know you connected speaking with Colleen, who's a nurse.
Right.
I know you did that speaking engagement. I don't really know what you spoke about or what you did.
Reiki.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And that was through networking at the Devolution at Vino's.
Right.
And so you meet people and they think of you later or on the spot or whatever. And it's
actually, it was on the way to the Optimist Speech Club class.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Contest.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we kind of hook up for a reason. Mm-hmm. And then you and I hooked up on a chamber event that we were doing.
Yeah. And, that's the other thing. You need to get yourself out there. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or not, don't close yourself off. Don't ever turn your back on your friends. Mm-mm. Because they're your lifeblood. Your girlfriends, we all have, men in our lives. You have your son, you have your husband, and I have my husband and sons, and you have your grandsons, and it's different. It's a different relationship.